In a coastal village where the salt air bit at the skin, Elias spent his days repairing old fishing nets. He had spent 40 years on the rough seas with his brother, building a modest life of honest labor. After his brother passed away, the heavy lifting became too much for Elias's aching back. He lived in a small, weathered cottage by the docks with his nephew, Julian, and Julian's wife, Clara. The atmosphere in the house had turned sour. Clara was sharp-tongued and resented the space Elias took up, while Julian had grown cynical, spending his days idling at the docks instead of casting lines. Elias tried to contribute by mending sails and cleaning the porch, but his efforts were met with cold silence. One rainy Tuesday, Elias overheard them in the kitchen. Julian's voice was low. "He's just an extra mouth we can't afford. The cottage could be a rental for the summer tourists." Clara agreed, her voice hard. "He's lived his life. It's our turn now." The next morning, Elias found his few possessions, his late brother's compass, a crate of books, and his worn boots, piled in the mud outside the gate. Julian stood by the door, refusing to meet his eyes. "You need to find another place, Uncle," he said flatly. The door clicked shut, leaving Elias in the rain. What Julian didn't know was that Elias and his brother hadn't just caught fish. They had been master craftsmen of wooden ship models, selling them privately to collectors for decades. Elias had a small iron chest buried beneath a loose floorboard in the old tool shed, which the couple never bothered to clean. That evening, Elias retrieved his life savings and walked toward the northern cliffs. He used his coins to buy a neglected patch of land overlooking the sea. With the help of a local carpenter's apprentice named Leo, who often brought Elias bread and stayed to listen to his stories, a sturdy new cabin was built. Elias started a small workshop, carving intricate maritime figures that drew buyers from the city. Leo worked by his side every afternoon, learning the craft and keeping the old man company. Back at the docks, Julian and Clara's greed backfired. Without Elias's steady presence and the hidden maintenance he used to do, the cottage fell into disrepair. They lacked the discipline to manage the property, and soon, debt collectors were knocking. Desperate for work, Julian hiked up to the northern cliffs one afternoon, hearing rumors of a wealthy craftsman who needed a laborer. When the door opened, Julian's face went pale. Elias stood there, looking healthier than he had in years. "Uncle," Julian stammered. Elias didn't yell. He simply nodded. "I need someone to haul timber. I'll pay you, but on one condition. You tell Clara nothing of who owns this place." Julian agreed, humbled by his own hunger. He worked the hard shifts, watching Leo be treated like a son while he was merely a hired hand. Eventually, Clara grew suspicious and followed him. When she saw the beautiful estate Elias had built, she didn't feel regret. She felt entitled. She burst into the workshop, demanding her rightful share of the family's new fortune. Elias looked at her with a calm, tired sadness. "The only thing I owe you is the lesson you taught me," he said. He handed her a single silver coin and pointed to the road. Years later, when Elias finally joined his brother, the village gathered to honor a man who had turned betrayal into a sanctuary. When Julian and Clara arrived to take the keys, they were met by a lawyer and the young man, Leo. Elias had left everything, the land, the workshop, and the legacy, to Leo, the boy who had shown him kindness when he was a stranger in the rain. The couple was left with nothing but the dust of the road as they walked away from the life they thought they could steal.